JUAN and my metric number is AFT1093. Today, my group will present the inflation of pandemic COVID-19 on economy in Malaysia. The COVID-19 is an infectious disease. The majority of those infected with the virus will have mild to moderate respiratory symptoms and will recover without the need for medical attention. Until 31st December 2021, the total recorded cases of COVID-19 of Malaysia reached 2,758,086 cases. The confirmed cases of COVID-19 have become 31,847 cases. Inflation is defined as the rate at which prices rise over the durations. Inflation is usually defined as a comprehensive measure of price increase or increase in the expenditure of living in a country.
Good morning, madam. My name is Alifa. My number matric is A2081321. Today I am going to present the economic activities in Malaysia. Malaysia is one of the world's most open economies according to the World Bank, with a trade to GDP ratio of over 130% since 2010, with over 40% of the country's jobs tied to export operations. Malaysia's trade openness and investment have played a vital role in job creation and income growth. As a result, Malaysia's economy has risen since the Asian financial crisis in 1997 and 1998, averaging 5.4% growth since 2010. Then, Malaysia is predicted to transition from an upper middle income to high income country by 2024. The manufacturing industry in Malaysia, which includes electronics, has suppressed agriculture, such as livestock, forestry, fisheries, retailing, and the hotel sectors.
Good day everyone, my name is Chong with number matric A2081306. Now I am presenting the impact of COVID-19 to inflation rate. The first is the shift in consumption patterns during the pandemic. During the MCO, household consumption patterns will shift significantly. The research shows a food consumption with households supplying more food and beverage during early MCO in Malaysia. Therefore, there was a decrease in spending for categories such as transportation, restaurants, and hotels, as well as creation and shopping due to movement limitation and mental center closure. The second is change in competitive dynamics. As firm as a result of the pandemic, those firms that remain could have an impact of Malaysia's inflation dynamics. Whether large international change or local enterprise that survives could have an impact with pandemic of COVID-19. In the case of the former, domestic product price may become more sensitive to global price fluctuation. The third is impact from economy scaring and shift in the labor market. Economy has also expressed concern about the economy's long-term scaring, especially on labor market, which may have an impact on inflation dynamics. The economy's recovery will be slower than expressed since the pandemic COVID-19 in Malaysia. However, there will increase in the number of unemployed people, especially in areas where the epidemic has a significant impact. This could result in a decrease in working class productivity as well as the participation of persons with obsolete skills in the labor field.
Next is economic policy implementation. Fiscal policy. When the inflation rate is higher during the pandemic COVID-19 in Malaysia, the government will use the contractionary fiscal policy to increase tax or decrease government spending. When tax increase, the disposable income of the personnel will be reduced. A reduction in consumption will follow, and this in turn will decrease aggregate demand. The general price level will fall due to a slow demand for goods. For example, Malaysia can use authority fiscal policy like the US did during 1993 until 2001 to address the inflationary impact of COVID-19 now, such as increasing tax on high-income taxpayers and reducing government spending on the defense and welfare.
A very good afternoon to our macroeconomics lecture, Dr. Nadia and my fellow teammates. My name is Teacher Kong. We are from Group 2 and today I'll be explaining my part of this assignment, which is one of the policies implemented in times of inflation during the COVID-19 pandemic. One of the policies is imposing a price ceiling to fix the maximum price of goods and services that a seller can charge to stabilize the price of normal goods during the pandemic. But this policy could also decrease the amount of supply since sellers would decrease their production due to lack of incentives. The other way to curb inflation is to increase tariffs and quotas for imports. That way, the amount of imports will decrease over time and the value of the RM will stabilize. And that is the end of my part. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Xiang and my lecture number is A20B1423. In conclusion, fiscal policy, impose of price ceiling, and increased traffic and quota on imports are the three policies to mitigate the MCO economic impact. However, it is possible that it will bring Malaysia out of its current slump. The success of aforementioned strategy must be monitored in order to keep unemployment and inflation at a manageable level. That's all from our group. Thank you.